All right, everybody, welcome tonight. It is Sunday night, 9 o'clock, now 9:05 Eastern, 6:05 p.m. in California, and 4 a.m. in Ukraine. Tonight's going to be really, well, how can you say it's going to be good? It's going to be very updated. It's going to be very accurate, and it's going to be very moving. It's going to be very informational, and you're going to get the truth tonight. Zhenya is getting some rest. Thank you for the nice shirt. I just want to say, y'all crazy. We've got to keep some sanity here. I've got to keep the blue and yellow going. I've got my hit list for tomorrow. Crystal Sowers, welcome to you. Carolyn Cadman, thank you. Good evening. Praying for our Ukrainian families. So tomorrow, folks, look at this. I've got to fix the wide video. So when I'm bringing in a lot of live feeds or shot feeds off of phones, tomorrow Stephen Haywood's going to help me get those right, because it's spreading them, and it's got to be fixed. I'm increasing the clothing tomorrow, blue and yellow. So for all my seamstresses out there, and yeah, you're going to get the truth from Ukraine. We're going to work on a ticker going in the bottom. Actually, I've got that going. Chat's going to be improved. And today, Zhenya and I filmed a video. Well, he filmed it. I participated in Ukraine. That's being produced now, and we will get that up tomorrow night live to you. It's going to be incredible. Very moving. But welcome to you, Betty Yarborough. Please tell Bill Yarborough in Norfolk, Virginia, I said hello. Ray Faircloth Sr. coming in from Ahoskie, North Carolina. Is it Ahoskie? We appreciate you too. Donna Adams, thank you. Insights, honesty, and truth. Blessing to Ukraine and the world. I believe it's Ahoskie, North Carolina. My memory doesn't fail me. Jeremy, welcome to you, Canada. I think the program's growing. Judy Emmerich, center of the world. All right, folks, let's get to it. I've got so much tonight. It's an overwhelming day. We're getting ready to move Ahoskie, North Carolina. I did nail it. We're getting ready to move to the most important time so far in this war. Mark Reinbold checking in from Flagstaff, Arizona. About time. About time, Reinbold. See all of your chat there. So I've got so much, but literally 5 minutes ago, I will show you this. Let me go to this view. You can see I was receiving fresh data from Ukraine literally 5 minutes ago. So I was able to queue up a couple of those. But tomorrow, of course, we'll have all kind of new stuff by tomorrow as well. But the next 72 hours are going to be very critical. It was actually President Zelensky that said that last night. And over the past 24 hours, since we talked 23 hours, it's escalated at a very intense level. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And thank you, guys. Yes, we're praying for peace. Camper Bill. Love it. Welcome, Camper Bill. Sharon Emmett, Heart with Ukraine. So, guys, I want to start here tonight. I've got lots of news items, a lot of them coming directly, of course, from Ukraine and or Russia. And I'm going to show you those. Of course, we'll have a little commentary. I've got video. I've got Zelensky. I've got some of the activity that happened today. I had some videos sent to me. But I want to start here. And this is all off the cuff because Zhenya just sent it to me. I need to add one. I think I've got it here. So this is going to be skewed a little bit. vMix, so awesome. Christian company out of Australia. Folks, this is what is happening right now. Right now.
So now it's a curfew time, the time when being outside on the street is not allowed. Special, let's say, war restriction during the wartime. So I'm having special pass for taking and conveying people if they are like arrived late. And right now 2 cars are following me, and I will try to show you. Okay, it's over there. And we're taking them to our shelter too, because there is a still free space for accommodation. Hey.
So that's Zhenya out right now. And of course, Zhenya is very much like I am we may push it a little bit. Still good ministers of the gospel, but we will push it. So he wasn't supposed to film what you're getting ready to see. But it's Zhenya and I. This is him going into the registration center where refugees are coming across the country and picking them up. You'll see the atmosphere of it. I also want you just to look at the benches and see the people sitting there.
Нема?
Ні, вона не хоче, дитина нам там її зустрічала. Ну, вже до 6 ранку. Вже проснулась в сілі. Більше немає.
Я вчора був до 8 ранку на цьому, а сьогодні, я думав, сьогодні заберу.
З четверга на п'ятницю.
Почекайте, зараз прийде поїзд. Якщо
На
так
котру?
зараз під'їжджають поїзда, так. Поїзда йдуть, які 2 години затримки. Я думала, що ця буде з Красилова, але її вже пустили.
Прикинь, у нас такое бывает, вважаючи, да.
Ми забрали вже всіх наших членів.
Через скільки буде наступний поїзд?
Треба в довідково спитати, зараз я спитаю. Спитаєш, Оль?
And I can tell you that's at the train station where I've been many, many times. Judy, I've heard Poland has taken 1 million refugees. We're up to about 1.45 million. About 800,000 have went to Poland, which is creating another issue, but we'll talk about that on another night. It's a challenge. So you can see the registration center there. You see people sitting there, and they have to pick and choose. I mean, you could just see hopelessness. Zhenya was talking to the people about, getting the documents right and who would be going with him, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing, did you notice they all had those warm coats on? No heat. And you see how he's dressed with the big black coat and the stocking hat. It's very cold there. Now, I want to show you a couple clips back at the center when he just returned. Let's go here now. 78, Snurdly.
Hey. Okay, just for you to see. Some people don't believe that we have like the war in Ukraine. Just guess what these people doing in our place. They are looking for shelter because their homes are bombed, destroyed, and Russian terrorists killing people in Ukraine. We as the Christians, we're trying, being one team with you, trying to do the best to help, to support, and to give a ministry to them. So thank you.
I'd like to go to clip number 4. And remember, he sent me these 5. I really haven't even had time to review them. I didn't even get my watch on until the countdown was at 0. Let's go to another clip he sent me. This is right now of the center.
Okay, it's coming.
Ну, если вам оце, значит, ссылку вам вообще надо поставить туда, и у вас будет свое место.
Да.
И вообще,
Спасибо.
норм проблем. Вот это ваше место.
Спасибо вам.
Thank
Мы
you.
такой гостеприимный, всі не того.
Давайте я стул сюда поставлю.
Ми їдемо на східницю, а переночувати сьогодні ніде. То це чоловіки старші.
Все, окей.
Oh,
Тоня.
Thank you. Hopeless.
Все, займайся, там стілець просили. Hey guys, no food, no smoke. This organization made possible to stay in this Christian center.
These 2 places have made possible to stay at this shelter.
Volunteer and
Humanitarian aid organizations, and then you saw about the
here's
life
for
at the
support.
top.
If you want to support, you can do it. Here's it. Okay, coming down. The registration is in process. People are eating. And here is... О, я голодний.
He just said I'm hungry.
Хто телефонує? Дозвольте.
Security cameras to make sure the center is safe. We don't think about all the stuff that's required.
Okay. Okay, that's enough.
I want to, folks, it doesn't get any more real than that. You're not going to see that on CNN, I promise you. Let's go here. One last clip he sent me. This is Vitalik, and I've known Vitalik for over 20 years. This young man right here. I guess he's getting older now, I'm not sure, but here you go, Vitalik.
Виталь, скажи что-то на английском.
He's very shy.
Скажи Грегу привет.
Грег, большой привет с Украины.
Greg,
It
big
says
hello
Greg.
from Ukraine.
Okay, Greg for
люблю
you.
тебя.
Love you, says Greg, love you, and большой привет. You will translate it just, I mean, somehow.
Big hello to everybody. Thank you so much.
You will make it. Okay.
He's in charge of the
Thank you very much.
stocking. So, folks, that is real time. That is happening right this very moment. So let's get on. I want to keep moving. I want to try to keep these to an hour so that you guys can also be about your schedule, maybe 45 minutes. Unless we go crazy and I'm full of guests in the middle of the night, then time's off. And I never know when they'll pop in. I do have their mics on just in case. They have open invitations. But Zhenya tonight is exhausted, completely exhausted. So let's go to what we have tonight, and I want to move through it quickly for you. Folks, the war is brutal right now. I've got a couple of insets for you here, a couple of maps, and I want you to look first at the map on the right. You see the nation of Ukraine. You see the shades of red. The shades of red are the locations where Russia has control. Kherson. It appears that Mariupol is surrounded, basically taken. Of course, the city's in the east. Kharkov has not fallen yet, and we believe and pray that it will not, but it's very brutal there. In fact, the video I'm working on with Zhenya for tomorrow night, do not miss tomorrow night, has some folks from Kharkov telling the real story. So, of course, from the north, if you look on the left, you need to understand something. When you see on the regular news that you're paying attention to and stuff, we don't really understand how close the soldiers from Russia are to surrounding Kyiv. It's extremely close. The left map is downtown Kyiv, and this is to the direction of Zhytomyr and Khmelnytsky. But where the red stars are, those are major places of conflict, and Russia has a pretty good stronghold there, getting very close. In fact, if you look at the closest star in the middle, the city is called Irpin. Today in Irpin, and I have the video, but I will not show it to you. Citizens of Irpin, which is basically Kyiv, were escaping, walking down the streets with their suitcases, and they were shelled and killed right in the street. Completely obvious. There's citizens leaving with suitcases rolling in their hands. And I chose not to show that. It's just, trust me, it's brutal. So that's that. We go to the next map. This is down toward Mariupol, and this is the area that's very dangerous. This is where people were trying to escape today and were unable to, and that is because, let me go here. This is in Ukrainian language, but it says that Russia attacked the Green Corridor. It was the second day where people were trying to have safe passage out. Between 200,000 and 400,000 are still trapped in Mariupol. No heat, no water, and food is about gone. And you can see the weather. Those are just little shops. Everything is being destroyed. Everything. That is just a shop. Everything's being destroyed. In fact, I want to show you a video clip when people who were in the Green Corridor had ability to leave for a couple of hours before the shelling started again. The enemy soldiers from Russia attacked them and forced them out of their cars to walk back to Mariupol, and then destroyed their cars, slit the tires so that they would not be able to leave. And here is the clip about that.
Оце вони таке делають. Всі машини перевіряють. Прошла колона. Поспускали колеса, порізали. В кожній машині. Дивіться, люди, що вони, сука, творять. Кожну машину
every car is destroyed, and he's not happy about it, and I'll leave it there, but you don't understand.
Добратися куди-небудь хоч.
Now, you'll see stuff on the ground. There are not dead bodies. This is just their stuff was taken out and thrown away, and they had to walk back to Mariupol.
Оце отак, дивіться.
Tires slit. Can't you see it? So these cars will never go. So, folks, that's reality. When you see this other stuff, I'm telling you right now, and even today, we had a special service at Bethel Life. Pastor Kent did a phenomenal job as we were sharing about Ukraine and ministering to the people. And, you know, it's still a challenge. I've been answering questions all afternoon from people around this country that still think this is fake. Please, my friends, share this broadcast. Comment and like. That's how you become a part of this army of hope that we are, to support Ukraine. And it's not about hating Russians. I love Russians. I love Russia. You say, how can you say that? I've been there many times. I love that place. I love that culture. We have a dictator and an evil regime who is completely mesmerizing a nation to do what is being done. It is a repeat of World War II, and we're watching it right in front of our eyes. It's a disaster of epic proportion. It's got to stop. We've got to get control of the skies, period. I'll talk about that more in just a moment. Let me give you one more map here. Zhenya sent me all that stuff and got my stuff out of order. Matsutsa. Here we go. And this is the north. So just an updated map on the north. You can see the red is progressing. Question, is Putin attempting to make himself another Joseph Stalin? You know what? I think the potential is there. Let me give you a clip. This is a live program for an hour. So let me give you a clip to answer that question. This is the map from the north. You see the Russian border, the Belarusian border. Folks, they want to get Kyiv. It's going to be a very hard city to conquer. It's hilly. I know the Ukrainian army is there and dug in very strongly. They'll be in good positions of defense, but it's going to be a challenge. So Rick Berry, you asked, let me show you guys. Let me find it. So in Ukraine, there are rallies against what is going on. And this is why I say we need to know the truth. We need to love people. But in Russia as well, there are protests going on. And I've got a side-by-side clip to share with you. This is today, Ukraine, and in Russia. Ukraine, gunshots. Russia, protests.
Да, Лех, ну я все засняла.
So, folks, there you see it. We're just getting set up for the position that if this is not stopped, Stalinish. Boris Johnson came out today and made a statement, but no NATO.
Putin must fail. His war of aggression, his war of choice against Ukraine is something that is bringing devastation to a wholly innocent country. He's bombarding civilians, he's attacking tower blocks with missiles, and it is absolutely unconscionable that democracy in Ukraine should be stamped out in this way. That's why the UK has been working with our friends and partners to impose the toughest possible package of economic sanctions already. The world has barely seen anything like it before, and it's had a huge impact on the Russian economy as I speak. The ruble has tanked. You've seen people queuing to take out their money. They're reluctant to open the Russian stock market. They've taken a big hit already, but we will go further. And we will continue to support our Ukrainian friends with logistics, with lethal defensive military support for as long as it takes. And we are here for the long haul. I think that Vladimir Putin has made a huge miscalculation. He's underestimated the willingness and the strength of the Ukrainians to resist. He's underestimated President Zelensky of Ukraine, and he's also underestimated Western resolve and Western unity. We stand together to ensure that Putin must fail.
So, great statement there from Boris Johnson, but the reality is, even if Vladimir Putin has underestimated, we talk of the sanctions. As of this minute, the United States is still buying oil from Russia, and you're paying $4 to $5 a gallon for gas. There's the reality. So the skies are open. Right now, missiles and bombs are being dropped all over Ukraine. And the longer we allow this, the further offensive plans and positioning. And it's been very obvious from inside Ukraine, from Ukraine's defensive people, because I get the general's report in the morning and the general's report in the evening. So I show them to you sometimes. Of course, you can't read it, but I translate it or take some clips out of it. During these past few days, the Russian forces have been moving into attack positions around Kyiv. They're coming. Unless this is stopped, they are coming. And Ukraine knows it. And that is why they're screaming, forget your sanctions, close the skies. And until these world leaders stop being cowards and afraid, you're afraid of a nuclear war in World War III, and because you're afraid of it, you're going to cause it. How about that? Let me go talk to somebody. Because of your fear, you're going to cause it. That's the problem. Because what's going to happen, you're going to do nothing. And I hope tomorrow you do something. I hope right now B-52s are in the air heading to Ukraine and I can change this story. But right now, they're not. And then once Ukraine happens, I'm going to show you something. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going off script. Today at church in Russia, the priests in their homily were declaring that God is on Putin's side and that this war is vindicated and that Ukraine is only one part, but Georgia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they have to fall too. And this is coming from a priest. What I just translated for you is what you're going to hear him say today in church.
Когда вся великая и малая и белая Русь сможет единым бессмертным полком пройти от Владивостока до Калининграда. Будем надеяться, что в ближайшее время к нам присоединится Молдова, Казахстан, Украина, несчастная. На подходе Грузия, отказавшаяся участвовать в санкциях. Ну а что будет с Прибалтикой, сами можете догадаться. Сегодня они поставляют как перевалочная база оружие для истребления славян. Примите, пожалуйста, благословение и будете расходиться по домам для келейной молитвы о победе над темной ордой фашистской. Слава тебе, Боже!
May God be with us. Let's continue to pray for victory over the fascists. I promise you, you will not see that video anywhere. That is today. And you hear the rhetoric coming. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I'm going to talk about something in a moment. Let me get back to here. So you want to see crazy? Well, this isn't crazy. This is sad. Today in Irpin, you see it here on the map, right to the left of Kyiv. It's a suburb of Kyiv. An infant was killed in the shelling. The mother and the father ran to the hospital carrying the baby. The father's carrying the baby in a blanket. You see the blood on the blanket. The mother running behind. The baby died. The doctor was in disbelief. And we have the priest in Russia declaring these things. This is why refugee ministry that you and I are part of is vitally important. You saw some of what I shared from Zhenya. I have a clip here from Rostislav. Folks, this is unbelievable. But I want to show you some brightness. Here you go. Tonight, Dawn of Life in Khmelnytsky, Ukraine. is hosting 240 refugees. Folks, that's just one center that we are assisting to support.
Well, we just had church. We had awesome presence of God, and we had refugees with us at the service. And last night we had 200 people, and tonight we already have 220 registered, and people are calling and calling and calling. And we are organized. We have one lady who is highly administrative, so we have numbers and rows, and every row has a responsible minister over this aisle, and we have many places in the hall and on the stage. So looking forward, we have people on the upper room and in the underground basement. Classes, even my pastor's office receives families, so increasing our capacity to the maximum. Praise God. Praise God.
Seriously. That's right now. Folks, that's the real deal, the real story. God bless you, Rostislav, and of course we will continue to update. So let me give you very organized, bless them to bless others. We would never partner with people to this level that we do not have relationship with. You see the level with Zhenya and Rostislav. We're not messing around. This is if you include Larry, this is almost 30 years of relationship, over 30 years. So 25 for me, 30 for him. We're not messing around. We know where to get the resources to help, and we can get them there. And Pastor Kent is doing a phenomenal job with the administration of the finances. Thank you for continuing to give. We're in for the long haul. Now, let me update you over the next 20 minutes, 19 minutes or so, on what's going on. Today, Vinica Airport was destroyed. You need to understand where this is at. Let me go to a different input here. So you see Kyiv. Zoom in to it, or zoom in for you. Kyiv right here in the center. And then I want you to go to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Ruby Davis, thank you for coming to YouTube to find me. I see your message. Go to YouTube. It's much better. I'll see you there every night. 7 o'clock, you see the city of Vinica right here. Now, that is the airport today, strategically, that was destroyed. It was destroyed with 8 missiles launched from a naval vessel in the Black Sea. These are facts. I will show you Zielinski, but here's the deal. Folks, just go to your left, Letichev, and then Khmelnytsky. This is getting very close. And I spoke with the guys just a little while ago, and I said, guys, this is getting close. You have to remember, let me go back to this slide here. You have to remember that here, Khmelnytsky, map on the right, has a nuclear power plant, a very large one. I don't see how it's not going to be a target. Exactly, Camper Bill. We have 20 aircraft carriers. Russia has one. And it's just, well, we're not in office. I wish I was. Can I get in office? So that's where we're at. It's getting close. So Zhytomyr, of course, was destroyed. And now Vinnytsia, that's the next city. Literally, you can get there in an hour, a little bit over an hour from Khmelnytsky, which is our base of operations for ministry there. So we've got to pay attention to that. Let me pop you back over here. Those are the pictures of the Vinnytsia airport. I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to read to you what Zelensky said. Once Vinnytsia was attacked, Zelensky came straight on, President Zelensky, and I'll play just a couple seconds, translate, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff and tell you what Zelensky said today.
Щойно мені доповіли про ракетний удар по Вінниці. 8 ракет.
I want you to know that 8 rockets have just destroyed the Vinnytsia airport. 8 rockets have now destroyed the Vinnytsia airport. And that is the airport. And my friends, I've been there and it's gone. I've walked right on that concrete that is now rubble and bricks. And that airport is gone. It's not just like damaged. It's gone. Period. Gone. Very major attack today. Very close. Now, Zelensky today made some very bold statements. Good for you. Yeah, Amy Foltz. I'm encouraging everybody to transition to YouTube. I'm never confident on Facebook, and you can get there on YouTube, Greg Terry Experience. Just subscribe and like it and hit the little bell, and every night at 9:00, I'll say hi to you. Zelensky made 2 speeches today to the Ukrainian people, and here is what he said. He says, right now, the Belarusian army is not used against Ukraine yet. It is deployed along the border, and there may be some isolated cases where their soldiers are assisting, but not at a heavy level yet. But for sure, it's not out of the question. And missiles, tactical supply lines are coming through Belarus. In fact, I want to show you a clip that came out. Belarusian soldiers, some of them have actually left the Belarusian army. Their families are right across the border in Ukraine. And they have come over to fight for Ukraine. And they invited other Belarusians to come to support Ukraine. This is what happened. Check the invitation out. Fade that joker over there.
Беларуси. Если у вас есть еще что-то светлое в душе, если вам не чужды идеалы, которым нас учили добрые книги в детстве, присоединяйтесь к нам, к белорусской роте. Помогите нам вместе.
We will not be quiet because of our children. All the people of Belarus hear us.
Освободить Украину.
We've got to support Ukraine.
И защитить ее женщин и детей. А также привет
for our
Грише
wives
Озаренко.
and for our children.
В Казахстане. Приезжай сейчас в Украину.
Please come. I invite you. We invite you. Come help us. There's the truth for you. It's not all of Belarus, but there are Belarusian soldiers making the appeal to come help. Zelensky went on to say there is a humanitarian catastrophe throughout the entire nation of Ukraine. We're helping the best we can. Kharkov is still being destroyed with heavy equipment, and Kharkov now lacks air defense systems. In the Sumy region, we're doing a counteroffensive, and we are attacking back. We believe that an active phase of this war will last at least another 10 days, but in the next 72 hours, we will understand where the war is heading. This army that is invading our territory must be destroyed. But, my Ukrainian friends, if you capture them, you treat them fairly. Once again, I repeat, I'm still here. Stop spreading the lies. I have not left Ukraine. Chrissy Rommel, good comment there. Praying and donating. What more can we do? Please guide us. Here's what you can do. Pray, donut. She's one of my cooks. Pray and donate, yes. But here's what you can do. Share, like, and comment on this broadcast. Tell your friends. Listen, it only takes a little spark to get a fire going. Until this is over, I'm going to tell the truth on here every night and prove it with documents and video. And we're going to tell the truth. We're not going to hate on anybody. We're going to love people. We're going to support people. But we're going to stand against evil and support what should be right. And what should be right now is that we should be there taking care of this situation, period. And I don't want to hear, well, it's not our war. It's not our war. It's not Europe's war. I've got news for you. If it's not your war right now and it's not Europe's war, then it's coming to your door next. Cowards. Am I allowed to say that? I am allowed to say that. I am. In this situation, it's a fact. More on what Zelensky said. In Berdyansk, which is a city in the south, all mobile operators have been turned off. Mobile communication is gone. Cell phones do not work anymore. Irpin video. A bunker was discovered with Russian uniforms that saboteurs are using in all districts of Kyiv. That means even in the center, we are fighting against sabotage groups. They are everywhere. Good news, essential medicines have arrived in Kramatorsk. Kramatorsk is the city in the east that is destroyed. We have received antiseptic, antibiotics, wound cares, and we are distributing. Vinica, we already talked about. He made a statement today about Putin's statement to Erdogan, who is the president of Turkey. He said Putin told Erdogan that the suspension of our special operations to protect the Donbass is possible only if Kyiv, Ukraine, stops fighting and fulfills all of our requirements. That's not going to happen. Do you guys want to know what Zelensky really said? Okay, I'll tell you tonight. This is not too bad. Sorry, wrong button. So he commented on Putin's statement to Erdogan. I'll repeat it, and then I'll tell you what Zelensky said. He said, Putin said to Erdogan, the suspension of the special operation, still not called an invasion or war from Russia's side, to protect the Donbass, the eastern portion of Ukraine, is possible only if Kyiv stops fighting and fulfills the requirements of Russia. Zelensky replied to that statement and said, I quote, that little evil dwarf is not going to stop. He then went, my dear Ukrainians, please be prepared. Russia is preparing right now a second wave of the largest scale offensive we have seen yet, to which Ukraine must approach as prepared and united. He then went on to say that the Green Corridor was broken again. We talked about that. and civilians are being destroyed. He then called out again today for NATO and other nations, close the sky over Ukraine. Make a humanitarian zone. We are people in Ukraine, and it's your duty to protect people. If you do not do this, and at least provide us with aircraft so we can protect ourselves, one conclusion we will draw, and that is that you want all of us to be killed slowly. And today, they were talking about with Blinken, the Secretary of State, Blinken, Winken, and Nod, part of the trio of birds from Opie, Andy Griffith show. Worthless, clueless on what he's doing. But he says, okay, we're going to supply Poland with planes. Poland will supply Ukraine with planes. But somehow over the last couple of hours, that has broken down. I know they're working to fix it. He then goes on to say, and I'll show you the article real quick. It says, tomorrow Russia has officially the shelling. And I'll show you that. And he goes, I want to tell you that 20,000 volunteers have now arrived from 52 foreign countries to help us fight. They are fighting with us. And finally, he says, world, please know, if you want to know, 211 schools have now been destroyed on Ukrainian soil where the kids go to school. Folks, that's the real deal right there. And that is directly from Vladimir Zielinski. Let me go through a couple of these last things. Today, the Kharkov Institute is being attacked. You need to understand it's vitally important. Yes, the Zaporozhye power plant, nuclear, and Chernobyl are already under control of Russia, but the Kharkov Institute is a nuclear institute where there are 37 active containers of neutrons, and it's a protected site. It's for education, and now that place is under attack. Zaporozhye, largest nuclear power plant in Europe, is under control of Russia 100%, and they are using it as their new military base in the region. That is a fact. Chernobyl is under Russian control, and that area is being used as a base. I do not understand why you would want to create a base in a radiation zone still, but that's up to you. Today, this is in Ukrainian. I'll translate it for you. Today, Russia announced directly to Ukraine, tomorrow we will begin to destroy all of your defensive operations. Zelensky replied, we have thousands of people that work there. Putin says, I've warned you, tomorrow we will destroy. We shall see what unfolds. And then in Kyiv, and this is from Ukraine, that it's talking about the military from Russia is pretty much surrounding Kyiv, and it is their goal to get that spot right there. And that spot, my friends, is the center of Kyiv. I have stood there 1,000 times. This is the foreign minister. He said, if you don't believe this is happening, this horrific 500 kilogram, that's 1,000 pounds, Russian bomb fell on the residential building in Chernihiv and didn't explode. Many other did, killing innocent men, women, and children. Help us protect our people from Russian barbarians. Help us close the sky. Provide us with combat aircraft. Please do something. Folks, this was provided to me today by some secret guys. This is a document from Russia where Russia is going to be disconnecting from the world internet. They will have an intranet, much like North Korea, and this is to control the narrative and to control the media. I call this the good, the bad, and the ugly, because once they're disconnected, there's no way that we can get the truth in, that we can help to understand or help people to understand. This is why Elon Musk even came out and says, listen, I'm not going to turn the satellites off in Russia. Yes, I'm supporting Ukraine. Yes, I'm helping Ukraine. But how are we going to get the truth to the Russian people if they have no connection with the outside world? That is the documentation right there, that this is imminent, that Russia is going to be completely cut off from the world. And just right before I went on, United States considers a ban on Russian oil imports. We're in day 11. Really good there, President Biden. We're considering a ban on Russian oil imports. While our gas is going to $5 a gallon, just open the Keystone Pipeline. I'm just not going to say anything. It's common sense. Zelensky said that the sanctions today are not sufficient. That is a man standing there with his home destroyed, with his hands up. Ukrainian President Zelensky urges Western countries to strengthen sanctions on Russia over its invasion. And he says, every threat that is increased, the more silence I hear in regard to helping us. Here's some good news. I want you to know that 140,000 Ukrainians have returned to Ukraine. We're always talking about the refugees going out, but 140,000 have returned to Ukraine, 80% of which are male. They're coming home to defend their homeland, and 2,450 vehicles, cars, and vans have crossed the border bringing humanitarian aid. Anything they can bring have crossed the border. So those are some positive things that are happening, and that is a border crossing there in Ukraine. Finally, I would like to say T-Mobile, big thank you to T-Mobile. T-Mobile came out. I had an employee of T-Mobile send me this today or last night. T-Mobile, and I'll just quote a little bit. I want to recognize hard time for people at home and abroad, especially the people of Ukraine. We watch the war from safety. But I know that many of us, among us, we have friends and family impacted by the violence. While the conflict is thousands of miles away, the humanitarian crisis that is unfolding is heart-wrenching. As people are fighting and running for their lives and their freedom, I'm sure that, like me, you are hoping for an end to the violence and a resolution of the conflict. As the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, it is not enough to say we will not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. It then goes on to talk about the steps that T-Mobile is taking to help during the Ukrainian crisis. In order to help customers contact their loved ones, I announced early on that we have waived international long distance and international roaming charges for calls made and SMSs, text messages sent between the United States and Ukraine and other impacted countries. T-Mobile. But you know what? You remember, it's not real. It's just hundreds of companies and corporations are coming together while governments are twiddling their thumbs. Thank you to T-Mobile. That's exactly right. I saw a video of young Ukrainian men who have moved to another country, go back to Ukraine to fight for their homeland. Yes. And Richard Martin Zink, you do realize Hunter Biden receives millions of dollars from Ukraine Burisma Oil Board. Yes, I do. And I'm also aware that the reason that this is quite slow on the American side to do what we should be doing is because, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. The Biden and the corrupt criminals that are running our country, Ukraine's blood is on their hands. I'm well aware. I know stuff on Hunter Biden that I've been sent that if I show it, somebody may show up at my house with an FBI badge. They're sending me everything. This is why we know the truth, and that's why we come here. So we're on top of it. Let's see. Is there anything else I missed that I want to give you tonight? Yes. This is what I want to close with, my dear friends, tonight. I want to show you this, and this will be it. And we're pretty much on time. Awesome. It's hard. I prepare, and then Jania pop stuff on me at the last second, which he's more than welcome to do, and I know you enjoy it. But folks, continue to pray for Ukraine. Continue to give. We are here for the long haul, and we are not going anywhere. Thank you for being here. If you ask, and I'll just tell you one more time, tomorrow I'm working on some production stuff to make this even better and easier, but please, it's like the question that was asked earlier. We're praying and we're giving. What else can we do? I know I say it a lot, and I want you to know that this is basically all I do now. Now, yes, I still fulfill my responsibilities at the church and lead worship and help people and preach and do all these things. But literally, folks, the Lord has blessed us here at our base of operations in Greenville, Pennsylvania. And 24/7, this is priority in my life right now. And the priority to get the truth out and to tell the world what is really happening, but not just be a talking head, actually do something about it. And together we're doing that. So when I ask you to comment, to like, to share, when you're at work tomorrow, take my YouTube channel, Greg Terry Experience, and show it to your coworkers and tell them to hop on at night and watch. If people are confused, show it to them, tell them, send a text message. You realize it only takes a spark to get a fire going, and we can literally make this thing go mega and just support to an unbelievable level. It just takes us working together. As Zhenya said the other night in Russian, shag za shagom, step by step. Now I want to show you this as we close the night. This is unbelievable what I'm getting ready to show you. I'm going to show you a video of this afternoon in an occupied city. Please hear me. An occupied city with tanks and guns aimed at these people. The Ukrainians that are trapped in this city of Melitopol went out today in their city square and did this rally. Is that enough truth for you? I think that's a good way to end the night. Just remember, that's an occupied city. And I'm going to tell you, that dude that's on the roof, he's brave. And the guy that was filming it, he's even braver. An occupied city, a peaceful demonstration, waving the flags, singing their anthem, praising their heroes for trying to protect their land. This is who we support and who you support and who we will continue to support. Do końca, meaning until the end. My работаем вместе до победы. That means we work together until victory comes. May the Lord bless you, keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you. May you have a great evening, and we'll be back in 23 hours to see where we're at. May the Lord bless Ukraine, the people of Ukraine, and all the nations of the world. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.